Hi, you guys. Thank you for joining us today for our third session in our 6-part yoga series, Cultivate Balance and Self-Mastery. In this series, we will explore bipolar disorder from a unique perspective. Brooke and Violet will connect yoga philosophy and gentle, accessible yoga practices with psychoeducation. Breath awareness, gentle movement, and simple meditation will be repeated and also completely optional. If you did not join us for our previous 2 sessions, please take a moment after this class to watch those recordings on our YouTube or Facebook, where you can hear about Violet and Brooke's personal mental health and yoga journeys and practice some still movement and mindfulness exercises. I also want to mention that we have a check-in sheet included available for you to track and measure your moods and feelings pre and post class that I will put into the chat on the Zoom and on the comments on Facebook. And then I also want to acknowledge that, right now, all over the world, there are so many, things that are going on in our personal lives, as well as in our societies that can be really, jostling and really affect our mood and our feelings and the way that we are feeling every day. So we hope that this can be a valuable time of peace and, a safe place where you don't have to feel any pressure. And we can just come together as a community to support each other and to support our health and our wellness as well. So thank you both, Violet and Brooke, for joining us again today and for offering our community this wonderful practice.
Thank you, Emily. So it's always so nice to be here. I always look forward to the Wednesdays and doing this. And I think, like Emily said, there is so much going on in the outside world, and it inevitably permeates and has an effect on what's going on inside. So I like to think of this space again as like an exploration where you can go inside and without judgment see what you're feeling and maybe what moods are present there. And it's just a place where it's okay to feel the way you're feeling. Your feelings are valid, and we're all in this together. So thank you for being here and for watching whenever you watch. Let's take a moment and just sort of center and ground. So if you would like, I will invite you to close your eyes. Take a nice slow breath in. Open your mouth and just sigh it out. Maybe do that again. Slow breath in. And sigh out. Just relaxing the jaw, any tension there. And then just breathe natural. And with your awareness inside, notice the quality of your breath. Notice where you're feeling your breath in your body. Maybe you're feeling it in your chest. Maybe you're feeling that kind of ball in your throat. Maybe you're noticing your breath deep down into your belly. No judgment about where it is, just noticing. Notice if you begin to really slow your breath. Breathe with a sense of ease at a pace, a rhythm that feels good for you. And see if with every breath, you can just feel your body relax. Notice with every breath that sort of internal swirl that we have in our mind. Watch that just slow down. Depending on how you are sitting, feel your connection to the ground. Whether it's your feet, your sit bones, any part of your legs touching the floor, chair. Feel that connection to the ground. It's keeping you anchored and stable. With every breath, just feel yourself relax a little more. Beautiful. Take a nice, slow, maybe deep breath in. Once again, open your mouth, sigh out. Draw your hands together at your heart center. Press your palms in towards one another. Bow your head ever so slightly towards your hands. And just offer up some thanks to yourself for just being here right now. Being here for yourself. And then you can gently open up your eyes. And take a moment just to notice your surroundings. Maybe just take a moment just to notice how you feel right now. Maybe something's shifted, maybe not. No judgment, just noticing. So today, Brooke and I wanted to talk a little bit more about some tools and some more discussion about how to really manage mood as it comes, and even manage that sort of heightened anxiety, irritable state that sometimes those of us with bipolar can experience. And it can feel pretty intense. And so it's amazing to have yoga and meditation are these powerful, powerful tools that you can kind of have in your back pocket. And so, Brooke, I don't know if you want to elaborate a little bit more on that and sort of where we want to go today.
Sure, thank you. Thanks for the centering. It helped me to relax. So we talked a little bit about mixed moods last week, and we wanted to spend a little bit more time talking about that today. There's so much that we could talk about. It's challenging for me to synopsize it, and I get super excited because I want to talk about it and kind of geek out on yoga. What we're going to do then for the next couple of sessions is talk about depression specifically and anxiety specifically, so that you can kind of filter what you need a little bit better when, and pull from all of these conversations to manage your mood and your life, really. Just a mention to the people who have been commenting on the Facebook, sending emails. We're really, we're super grateful to be able to interact. And And I received an email a few nights ago from a woman in Australia who had been watching she's seen the first video and she's since watched the second video. And she asked about how to manage extreme irritability and was curious about mood control. So some things that I suggested to her were the same things that we've talked about in the sessions: simple breath awareness. There's lots of different things that you can do, but taking a moment to observe what has happened and led up to that irritability. And I like to bring to people's attention biological needs. Have you slept? Have you eaten? Have you exercised? Have you eliminated? Are you hydrated? And then looking at the environment and recognizing that we do have the opportunity to change things that aren't working for us. And that we could stop in the moment and just get a sense of what's happening. Sometimes simply naming what you feel can discharge the energy of it. I guess I want to back up just for a second, because something that Emily and Violet mentioned is sort of the ongoing challenge of living in this society, and especially right now. So I personally didn't sleep very much last night because we had a tragedy in the community. And so I'm feeling despair, and I'm feeling like I'm having a difficult time concentrating. I exercised this morning, kind of to try to capture that energy that I can feel moving through me, that's emotional, that's physical. Not sleeping triggers me feeling more energized. And so I know that today I'm going to need to take really good care of myself, eat warm cooked food that's moist, not travel, not get in my car and go anywhere if I don't need to, express what it is that's going on for me so that the people who I'm interacting with know kind of what my baseline is. That helps me to feel more grounded and more accepting of what it is that I'm working with. So I wanted to share that so that I can hopefully focus a little bit better today. I'd like to hear what Violet had to say about the email that we got and managing irritability. And she's gonna run us through a little bit of a practice again, some movement, gentle movement, and then we're going to transition over to behind me, and we'll practice Baddha Konasana, which is another restorative pose, a supported back bend. And we'll hopefully get to do some relaxation. And we really encourage you to continue to comment and ask questions and reach out. That's part of what keeps me really excited about this work, is hearing how it's affecting people, and knowing that it's been received, however it's received. So I just wanted to kind of reiterate something that I talked about last week, which was the 1-to-1 breath and the 1-to-2 breath. So when we're feeling depressed, breathing and inhaling and exhaling to the same count or the same length can be really helpful to sort of plod us along when depression is so kind of, it kind of pulls us back a little bit and can feel heavy. To manage anxiety, practicing the 1-to-2 ratio breath. So that's an exhalation that's up to twice as long as the inhalation. It doesn't have to be twice as long. It's suggested that as we begin to practice what we call pranayama, or energy control, that's breath control, it's also thought control, attitude control, it's appropriate to start with little baby steps so that we can make subtle shifts, and then those subtle shifts over time will create a really sturdy foundation that we can launch from into the more maybe some more overt kind of manipulation of the body or the breath or the mind. So starting with simple breath awareness, you might take some time, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, a minute, to just notice the breath, notice what's happening. And then after that minute or 5 seconds or whatever it is, let go of the awareness and let your mind kind of wander. The mind will wander. We're not trying to stop thoughts. We're hoping to observe thoughts. After enough time, maybe 20 minutes, the thoughts will start to subside. They'll become slower. And that will then allow us to move toward deeper states of relaxation and meditation. So I would suggest first simple breath awareness, and then letting the breath go, letting your mind go. And then noticing how long is your inhale and how long is your exhale, counting it. So that's the second step, counting the length. And then letting that go. You can do that for a minute or so, whatever works for you. So you let it go, you let your mind wander, and then if you want to, you can begin to taper or lengthen the inhale and the exhale so that they move one count closer to even. That 1-to-1 ratio breath, but we just want to move it incrementally and practice that for a while, and then move it incrementally again if you need to get to that 1-to-1 ratio. Working on that, you could work on that for months, you could work on that for years, you could work on that forever, and it might be different every time you try it. Letting the mind wander. And then if you have anxiety, beginning to lengthen the exhalation. So you may have already done that for the depression breath, the 1-to-1 breath. You can continue to do it incrementally, lengthening it to help to calm the mind, relax the body, control the breath. So the depression breath is 1-to-1, depression breath. The anxiety breath is 1-to-2. And then, so that's for controlling the mind, but what's happening with the body? Is the body restless? My body's super restless right now. Is the body sluggish? So if the body is sluggish, what might be helpful is what Violet's gonna offer us is a little bit of gentle movement. That helps for if you're depressed or anxious, to kind of capture the energy, sort of harness the wild horses. For depression, we want to practice backward bends, expanding the front side of the heart center, opening up the front side of the belly, and an upward facing posture that's a backward bend would be ideal. So then noticing if you have depressed mind or anxious mind, and doing the appropriate breath, the 1-to-1 breath or the 1-to-2 breath. If you're anxious, like I am right now, a forward fold, a downward facing posture would be appropriate to practice for the physical energy. And then you can think about, again, what's happening in my mind. Do I have anxious mind, or do I have sluggish, depressed mind? And then the appropriate breathing technique, the 1-to-1 breath for depressed mind, the 1-to-2 breath for anxious mind. So this is a way to move the body according to what's happening with the energy in the body, and to affect the mind by way of the breath. So again, just to reiterate, we practiced Savasana, which is relaxation pose, last week. And I also offered the option of coming over onto your belly and practicing crocodile pose, just lying on your belly. So that's a downward facing pose. It would be appropriate for anxiety, kind of contracting it. The upward facing pose, Savasana, that's expanding, it's opening. It's great for depression. It can be helpful for anxiety too, but those expansive poses. We're already so expansive in anxiety that we just want to counter it if we need to. A remedy of opposites. So today, whatever time it is in your time zone, we'll do Baddha Konasana, which I'll move and show you a little bit later. And that's a backward bend. It's an upward facing pose. So that would be helpful for, this is your pop quiz. Can you?
Depression.
Yeah.
Depression, yay. And then if you have anxious mind but depressed body, what's the breathing technique that you would do?
1 to 2.
Got it. Okay, cool. So there's a ton of other poses that you can do with that, with that concept, but it's a good basic concept to have for addressing the different states that we can experience. Not just those who have a diagnosis of bipolar disorder, but everybody. We're all experiencing like just the beautiful mess of emotions and living right now. The messy beauty. So, Violet, do you want to speak just really briefly to that email? And you had mentioned something about Buddhist philosophy and a way to address irritability and also body scanning. And you might maybe describe what that is.
Yeah, so those are really amazing techniques. And I know that sometimes in terms of talking about bipolar, mood disorders, anything like that, my personal experience is where I speak from the most. And in order to really know kind of what state I'm in, what I'm feeling, expanded awareness is what's helped me the most. So one of those things is breath, is taking a moment to center and actually breathe. And I've noticed for myself that sometimes it's difficult when I'm in the midst of feeling anxious, or sometimes I don't even realize I'm anxious, and there's like this resistance to sitting and breathing sometimes. So another component that can be helpful to direct the mind is a technique that Buddhist meditations use, and it's where you're going to inhale a feeling, maybe a positive feeling, and you're going to exhale a negative feeling. So there's this exchange that happens. And so, for example, if you are feeling anxious, maybe you breathe in calm and you exhale anxiety. Or if you're feeling irritable, maybe you breathe in peace and you exhale that irritability. And can you focus on that dynamic exchange while even you do the 1-to-1 breath or the 1-to-2 breath, and really focusing on breathing in what it is that you want and releasing what it is that you don't. And it's this beautiful energy exchange that I know has helped me a lot. And I even use it as a gratitude practice a lot as well. So I can breathe in gratitude and then send that out to the outside surroundings. So that's a really great technique that I've used a lot, just as that extra added component to the breath to sort of really take my attention away. And I love saying this, but for breath, like, you can't breathe in the past. Like, you can't breathe into the future. Like, you can only breathe right here, right now. And so it is probably one of the strongest techniques to maybe get you out of whatever mind state you're in, emotional state that you're in, to come to the present moment and then move forward from there. So another quick technique that I thought we could try really quick is one that I've learned from my meditation teacher, David G. And it's called 16 seconds. And the reason why it's 16 seconds is it's using a 4-count breath. And you can do less than that. Sometimes the 4-count can seem a little bit long. But the point is that you're watching your breath as you breathe. So not just counting your breath, but really observing it as it comes into your body and out of your body. So what we do is we inhale for the count of 4, and then we hold it for the count of 4 and just witness it. And then we exhale for the count of 4, and we hold that out for the count of 4 to witness that release. So I thought we could try that really quick. So if you'd like, you can close your eyes. And then take a long, slow, deep breath in. Watch the air go down into your lungs, deep down into your belly. And then just hold it there. Watch the breath swirl in your belly. And now exhale. Watch that breath move out of your lungs, up the back of your throat, out into the air, and just keep watching it, exhaling, and then breathe natural. And you can open your eyes. And that was 16 seconds. So 16 seconds will bring you into present moment awareness. It's quick, it's easy. Like Brooke said, it doesn't even have to be 16 seconds. It could be 5 seconds. And that is an accomplishment. So one thing that has given me that place to feel like I have more of an expanded awareness on a day-to-day basis is a daily practice. And daily practice might just be 16 seconds. It might just be 5 seconds to check in and to breathe, to really be aware of what it is that you're feeling and then where to go from there. So those are really amazing techniques. And another one that we're gonna do once we're in Baddha Konasana, which is an amazing pose, is a body scan. So also being able to witness where it is in your body that you're feeling that emotion or that mood. It's not uncommon that anxiety is held in the chest, like hence why sort of like grounding can feel really great. And there's other places in the body that are totally subjective to the person, where you might be feeling tension, and that might be related to a certain emotion. Like, so maybe all of a sudden you feel tension in your shoulders and you're like, oh, I'm irritable, I'm angry right now. So that's something that we're gonna do, and it's a really, really great awareness. So let's also right now just do a little movement, gentle movement. So I'm in a chair, and I recommend if you're in a chair, hang out in the chair or on the floor. For parts of this, you could even stand up. But why don't you just feel your seat? Feel your connection to the ground, to whatever surface you are sitting on. Bring your hands together at heart center. Hands together at heart center can symbolize balance. Right? So intend to be balanced on your right side and your left. Intend to be balanced front to back. And intend to be balanced top to bottom. Feel that center line just running through you. Beautiful. And then on an inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. Reach them up above your head. Connect your palms together. And then exhale your hands together at heart center. Right? And you're going to move at the pace that feels right for you. So inhale, reach your arms up. And then exhale, hands to center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands together, heart center. And now going in reverse, palms together, inhale, reach up. Now turn your palms away from one another and exhale your arms down and out to the sides. Bring your hands back together, heart center. Inhale, reach up. Palms away, exhale, lower your arms by your sides. Palms connect at heart center. Inhale, reach your arms up. Palms face away. Exhale, lower your hands like you're creating this little bubble around yourself. And then come right back, hands at heart center, pause. Well, Brooke speaking to those subtle shifts. And even just in that subtle movement, we've made a subtle shift energetically inside. Okay, so maybe just notice that. Maybe you don't even feel it at all. It's so subtle that you don't even notice it. And then lower your hands to your thighs, somewhere on your legs. We're going to do this sort of dynamic cat-cow, those expressions of opening the heart center and the chest and then rounding. So good for that anxiety, depression. So why don't you start, just gently lift your chest up towards the ceiling. Get a nice curve in your upper back. And then gently lift your chin up towards the ceiling. You don't want to crank it back, but we're just gently opening the throat. Relax the shoulders down and slightly draw your shoulders back. Heart open. Take a breath in. Okay, so then as you exhale, begin to round your spine. Draw your belly button to your spine. Let your shoulders come forward. Drop your head down. Exhale here. And then inhale ever so slightly. Starting with your low back, begin to round, arch forward. Let your chest pull up towards the ceiling. Draw your shoulders back. Lift your chin. Inhaling here. And then exhaling nice and slow, beginning to round the spine. Drop the head down. Beautiful. And then let's take 3 more of these and move at your own pace. Right? So move as slow or as quick as you'd like. And see if you can just notice the journey in your body as you're moving into these poses. That gentle movement of the spine. Gentle opening and contracting. And then come to a neutral spine. When you're ready, take a moment. You pause here to just notice, see if you can feel those subtle shifts that you've just made. Beautiful. And then drop your left ear over to your left shoulder. A gentle neck stretch. Relax your shoulders down. Just breathe into that space along the right side of your neck. And again, we're going for a gentle stretch, so not cranking anything here. And then as we're here for a few handful of breaths, maybe if you'd like, explore here a little bit. It might feel good to turn the chin down ever so slightly. Keep relaxing the shoulders. It might feel good to gently turn the chin up. Super gentle, nothing forced. Notice the fuller you breathe, maybe the more you can feel of the stretch. Yes, and then gently release your chin to the center of your chest and slowly lift your head up. Right, noticing the shifts in either side. And again, stay as long as you'd like or as short as you'd like. It's totally your practice. I'm just offering up some suggestions. And then drop your right ear over to your right shoulder. Make sure that you're really relaxing that left shoulder down. I say it all the time in yoga, and it applies to life too. Oftentimes when we're going to release something, we tense up somewhere else. It's good to notice that dynamic relationship of that releasing and tensing. Try to relax as much as you can. If you'd like, you can gently turn the chin down. Notice that subtle shift of the stretch. Keep breathing deeply. If it feels good, you can gently turn the chin up. Notice that subtle shift here. Nice. Release the chin to the center of your chest. Drop your head down. And then on your next breath in, lift your head up. You roll out your shoulders just a little bit, moving them in one direction. Just gentle little circles. And then switch to the other direction. And again, totally take your time. If you're with me, bring your arms out like a T, out to the side. Then we're gonna come into eagle arms. So cross your right arm over your left, right at your elbows. You can either grab opposite shoulders, or if you'd like to come into those eagle arms, you can try to connect your fingers to your palm, like this. So see if you can't lift your elbows up just a little bit. Relax your shoulders down. Breathe into this space here. Notice every little subtle shift with this stretch. It may even feel good to reach your hands away from your face. Notice that difference in the stretch as you do that. Beautiful. And then gently release this. Reach your arms all the way up above your head so you can get your nice stretch in. And then again, open your arms out wall to wall like a T. This time, cross your left arm over your right. And again, there's those options. And you might try out. Every side is different. So you might see if you can do that palm. You can even connect the back of your hands together. Anything really works here. Just try to lift your elbows up and relax your shoulders down. Again, moving with whatever mobility you have, whatever feels good for you. Relax your shoulders down. Maybe reach your hands away from your face a little bit. Continue to relax your shoulders. There's that tendency for them to creep up. Hold the tension. You want to release the tension. Nice. Unwind, reach up. Okay, and then we're going to come in again. So reach your arms out wall to wall. Cross your right arm over your left. Come into those eagle arms, whatever variation you've got going. And then we're going to combine eagle arms with some gentle cat-cows. So as you inhale, lift your chest up, let your arms follow. And then as you exhale, round your spine, drop your elbows down towards your belly, drop your head. And then inhale, lift your chest up, let your arms follow. And then exhale, round through the spine. elbows towards your belly. One more like that. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, round through the spine. Nice, come up, right at center. Unwind your arms, maybe shake them out a little bit. Definitely getting some like burning through some of that energy that we've got pent up in the body. Reach your arms out wall to wall. And then you can cross your left arm over your right. Yes, like definitely feel this here. Feel that little sense of burn. Something in yoga that we call tapas. It's like burning away that tension, burning away that stagnant energy. Okay, so as you inhale, lift your chest up, gently reach your hands up, and then exhale, round the spine, elbows towards your belly. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, round. One more. Inhale, lift up. And then exhale, round. Beautiful. Come up, tall spine. Unwrap your arms, shake them out. Shake whatever feels good. Like just shake off any tension that you've got. Anything that's coming up, just like get it out. And then relax your arms down by your sides, sit tall. And then we'll take a little stretch here. And so little twist might just mean you can cross your right arm over towards your left thigh. Or you can also lower your forearm down onto your thighs, just as a different variation, different option. You can take your arm back behind you, your left arm, or you can reach your left arm up towards the ceiling. Offers just a little bit of a different intensity. Nothing is better or worse than the other. They're just different. And part of yoga is just exploring what feels right for your body in that particular moment. Release this. Gently sit up. Again, like we're noticing those subtle shifts. Taking that moment just to pause. Right, and then coming in on the other side. Left hand over to your right thigh, your leg, anywhere on there. You can take the gentle twist just by reaching the right arm back, or lower the left forearm down and inhale the right arm up. Great, so in yoga, like you're taking what feels right for you in your body in the present moment. Right, so if you practice every day, maybe yesterday was totally different than what you need today. Take one more breath in. And then gently release this. Sit tall. Like constantly adapting, tweaking the practice. Take a moment, just close your eyes. Maybe if you'd like, you can bring your hands together at heart center, or they can rest wherever feels good. And just notice the shifts. Notice that prana, that energy moving through you. Take a nice deep breath in. Open your mouth, sigh out any last bit of tension. Beautiful. Now let's come into Supta Baddha.
Thank you. So for this practice, you might want to gather 3 blankets or towels, 2 pillows, or some combination. There are different ways to set this posture up. We call it Baddha Konasana. That means bound angle. We're going to be reclining on this setup or something similar. I'll show you another option. And then bringing our legs into what you might know as cobbler's pose or butterfly pose. So what I have here are 3 blankets stacked, and these blankets are folded in this size, this configuration, and you can do that with a towel. I've stacked 2 of them up, folded one back. This will support the head here, and then I pull it back just a little bit because the torso needs space. The shoulders want to drop down and the head to be supported by a little bit higher of a lift, covering it with one more blanket. This is one option. I'll show you how to get into this pose. Sitting on the floor, not on the blanket, bringing the low back up against the end of this stack. For some people, when we recline back, this arch might be too dramatic for your low back. So then you can slide something underneath your buttocks, your sits bones to lift your body up a little bit. Then what I'm going to do is support my legs with these pillows, and my legs can be casual, my feet can be together with the knees separated or not. The legs can be elevated, my feet aren't reaching the ground. It's comfortable for me, but if you want grounding, you might want to lower the support underneath your legs. It could be with blankets or pillows or towels, whatever you have. Let the feet ground if you feel to. Bracing your weight, you might inhale and lengthen the spine to prepare. Tuck the chin slightly, lift the heart. Exhaling, bending the arms, drawing the upper body down, settling in so that the shoulders are lower than the back of the head. Ideally, the point between the eyebrows is above the chin, and the chin is slightly above the breastbone, bringing your body into an angle from the floor. I'm going to come out of this. You can stay if that's comfortable for you. I'm going to show another modification. This posture takes the pressure off of the endocrine glands, so it resets your sleep-wake cycle, hormones, digestion. It's really wonderful for women in any stage of reproduction, premenstrual, menstrual, prenatal, pregnant, postnatal, perimenopausal, menopausal. So what I'm doing here is taking a pillow, firm pillow, and a blanket. You can place a towel or something at the back and edge of that pillow, again, to support a little bit of a lift in the head when you come into the pose. I'm going to take a blanket, anything that you have, to support the backs of your legs, pulling that blanket up as close to the sits bones as possible to help to support the low back. And then again, inhaling if you feel to. Exhaling, drawing the body back. And I'm going to roll this blanket just enough to fill the space between my neck and the pillow. This feels much more expansive to me because of the shape of the pillow. If it's comfortable, you can stay here. For me, I know that I like to have my head lifted a little bit, so I might place something else underneath my head and my neck to create that lift. This can be bothersome for shoulders that are tight, and if you find that that's true for yourself, you can place a pillow or a blanket or something underneath your elbow and your forearm. It can be really nice to have some support and not be reaching so much for the floor with the arms. allowing the shoulders, the upper back, and the neck to release into more of an upright posture will help oxygenated blood flow. It will actually release energy and oxygen into the rest of the body and into the brain so that you can get closer to relaxation and then the immune response and all of the good things that come online when we move into relaxation. I'd like to just take a moment for those of you who are in the pose still. You're welcome to stay in the pose for as long as it is comfortable. It is a safe pose to spend the night in if you can't sleep. It does give the body and the nervous system some rejuvenation. Even if you don't completely fall asleep in this pose, it's sort of the antidote to insomnia. And a gentle body scan for this, you might start at the feet. And you can do this whether you're in the pose or not. You might notice the calves, the thighs, the buttocks muscles, lower belly below the navel, upper belly above the navel, hands, forearms, upper arms, chest, neck, point between the eyebrows, observe the breath, and practicing simple breath awareness, or counting the length of your natural breath. Or moving incrementally toward a 1-to-1 ratio breath. Or a 1-to-2 ratio breath.
Wonderful. Thank you. That was so great. I just want to let everyone know, while you're still staying in this position, that next week we will be including a Q&A portion to the offering. So please email myself at info@ibpf.org or email Brooke. Her email is available on our website, brookewestyoga.com, and on our advertisements for the yoga courses, it's brookwestyoga@gmail.com. Any questions you may have, or take time throughout the next week to collect them and be prepared for our next session. And I'm really looking forward to next week. So thank you again, Brooke and Violet, for this wonderful class. This recording will be available on our website and our YouTube channel. And we want to remind you that this is a 6-part offering, so we still have 3 more unique sessions to come. So make sure you're registered for all of them. And we hope you will join us again next week. Bye, you guys. Have a really wonderful week and continue to practice your daily mindfulness. Bye, you guys.